This is another discussion I wanted to make, just talking about how are we going to move forward in the next few years. How are we actually going to do this? It's like, I feel like even the people who gravitated towards my content, we still have a mixed bag of things that we are responsible for, things that we tend ourselves with, things that we occupy ourselves with, let alone the people who not watch my content. So I started to peel back the fact that, okay, there needs to be some kind of mutual understanding as a basis, and we can find ways to embrace the differences in one way or another, so as to not keep it like a cult mentality, because I feel like that's going to be an inevitable route if we look at it so dogmatically here. So my suggestion is that we have a space open for giving our opinionated views on everything, but we can also establish the simple fact that there is an esoteric side to all this information. As simple as that. What we've been told is not the full truth. I'm not saying everything is not the truth, because obviously you're going to have to give a ratio of truth to deception in it, or else you're not going to, it's not going to pull on your heartstrings in any way. You're going to need some kind of truth mixed with fabrication in order for it to seem believable. So to move forward as a group, maybe we can place our inputs and not just, and kind of peel apart what you used to believe before. For example, let's say you're a Christian. Maybe if you have the willpower to do so, you can give an input on the potentiality of what may be another side to it that you didn't want to discuss or you didn't want to dwell on, and be honest with yourself. Because if we stick in the tight-knit dogmatic thinking, it's only gonna go one place, nowhere. It's gonna be a de-evolution process for us once again. And I feel like I'm saying this in a premonition because the future has already occurred, so I can't fully grasp what it's going to entail, but I can grasp the fact that there will be a higher basis of mutual understanding on all fronts. Even if someone is in such a cult mindset with their religions, there can be a banner of mutual respect and love for each other. Because if we get to a stage where there's differences ideologically and we start conflicting, we are not focusing on the real issue and the real controllers controlling for us to get to a next stage of development as a species, and also recognizing the fact that we may all have human bodies, but our essence is not all human. That phrase, may sound crazy to people, may sound weird, may sound scary to some people, but if something is the way it is, regardless of what you think, your belief doesn't affect the reality of things. So you can live in a constructed illusion like La La Land or delusion, and you may tell yourself that you are the one in the right because society tells you so, but the truth of the matter is, the truth is still the truth, regardless of what you want to tell yourself or what people on a mass scale want to tell you and make you and convince you otherwise. And that's just one thing to take into account, let alone your higher light bodies, the fact that biological death is an implant, and it's due to sextant matrix and monadic Metatron reversals disrupting monadic layers of light body, etc. So we're gonna come under a banner of understanding between those who have their paradigm possibly stuck in one place. Of course, if we have people who are open to listen, then that's a different story here. But you're obviously gonna have people by the millions sticking to what they used to preconceived notions about this reality. So there's gonna have to be some way to prove, and it's not. And also, if people don't want to listen, they want to just stay enslaved, we have to. What can we do? We can't force them. Unfortunately, we can't force them in this case. If they want to stay enslaved, let them be. Stockholm Syndrome. So I think the point I was trying to get at is, in the next few years, while we see this shit really going down, Agenda 2030, and by 2047 you will see the mass depopulation of the planet, with the remainder that are here. Definitely, it's not like there's going to be one unifying narrative to explain what the fuck is happening. There's going to be so many different branches off, and people are not going to know who to trust. So there's definitely going to be a mess in terms of trying to affirm to people what the actual truth is, and so people don't think, oh, this is just ulterior motive or ulterior reasoning behind this. Because on the front, if it sounds so outlandish, people are gonna be like, nah, this is some ulterior motive. Like, it's not gonna be easy to explain. So I've been pondering that thought, and it's been a bit stressful for me to think about. I'm trying to just let it be for the time being, because I feel like we have some time still. We definitely have some time still, and there's people that are around all over the world just living their daily life as if nothing's happening. But people are gonna have to realize that shit is gonna be happening even worse soon. And it's not to be fearmonger, and unfortunately people always think this comes with a context of fearmonger just because the information sounds scary to them. But it's like, do you want to know how things really are, or do you want to have a comforting, pampering of information? Like, it really comes down to, do you really want to accept truth? Do you really want to be realistic in how you're living here? And it's not really about forcing people to do anything. It's literally just informing people and sharing for the benefit of all life, for the benefit of all humans. This is for the benefit of us as people to actually stand together here, not for us to fucking offer a course, offer product, offer a cult. No, we're trying to offer truth. We're the bringers of truth here. We're the bringers of light here, and you don't need to accept every bit of it. All we're asking is that you know that things are not what it seems. Things are really, 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 really not what it seems. So and we're coming from a place of respect and compassion here. We're not trying to freaking shame you, because I used to shame myself, but then I said, why do we need to freaking dispel hatred over the fact that we've been brainwashed? When someone's brainwashed, they don't know any better. And it's hard when people's ego get to them and they think they're the normal ones and they call people crazy. But it's just how things are in a societal engineering, though. It's just how things are. And that thing, it comes naturally. And I feel like if we're going to be the side of maturity, we gotta let that be and not further fuel the fire by instigating conflict with those sort of people who think they know it all and think they're in the right because of their social programming. It's hard, because normally when you come across people like that, it's like, where do you even begin with these sort of individual? But then you gotta say, okay, it's like they're lost mentally, but they think they're found. They've created their own delusion, and it's unfortunate, but I think the only way we can find a way through this is to actually accept the fact that there are people like that who exist, and try to instill some mutual understanding in one way or another, because either way people are going to disagree on a lot of things. So I think that's all I wanted to say today, everyone. I would suggest, if I would have to suggest a new lesson, I would suggest there's this doctor known as Mohsen Palsafrazi. He's a quantum physicist, but he gives it in the Keylontic perspective. So he merges science with history with spirituality all together, because that's how you have a holistic view. Because when you divide paradigms, people think it's separate from one another, but it's all in one holistic view. So it's not simple stuff. Can't say I understand it even a bit myself, but he gives a lot of insight on metaphysics and what we're dealing with here. So yeah, I think I've passed the 10-minute mark, so I'm gonna have to trim down this, because now there's a limit to I don't know if it's just for this page that there's a limit to it, but I'm pretty sure now it's a 10-minute limit. So thank you so much for listening to this. Whoever in the group has something new to share, it'd be amazing if you can bring it out. And stay plasma, everyone. Peace and love and unity be our guidance. You are the true savior of yourself. Thank you so much. Medipeakdp Network. Signing off today, May 22, 2023. Thank you.